to summarize the drama, chat, not to summarize it too much, but to give you like the main gist, it turns out in a lot of instances, when you donated that via SoftGiving, they took half.
And they said they didn't take any fees. Now, there is so much, right? So people, streamers, are hosting charity streams, being told, when you host a charity stream with us, don't worry, because no, we don't take any fees, right? And you're always like, how do you make money then? How do you run your website if you don't take any fees? Like, different sites do it in different ways. Like, a lot of sites will say, we don't take fees, but what we do is ask people to tip towards running the site. So, like, we mentioned Watsy before, and I donate $25 a month for, like, 2 people over on Watsy, but then a portion of that I put to one side for the running of Watsy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because obviously there are costs to that. So rather than them taking a portion out of it, that's where your money goes, and you go, yeah, and £3 goes to Watsy or whatever, right? That's how, you know, legitimate people do it. But apparently with SoftGiving, they have been telling people we don't take any fees. Then they have been running charity streams, getting a bunch of donations. The donations do go to the charity within 30 days, which is already like too long in my opinion. But it goes to the charity within 30 days, and then the charity get an invoice for half the money and they have to pay them back, which is why they were saying we don't take fees, because the charity do get the money, but they also get a bill.
So it's a way of getting around a lot of legal stuff, is by basically saying like, okay, what we're going to do is that we're going to raise 200 grand for you, but we're going to take half of that. But instead of being like, oh, when you give money, when you guys send a tenner in, rather than it getting it split in half and going 2 ways, all of it goes to the charity. We just invoice them after.
Which they'll never tell you.
And they don't tell the people raising money either. They don't tell the streamers. So the streamers are there being like, wow, we raised $5,000 for a charity. And then 2,500 of that gets torn away and given back to SoftGiving. And so the reason why this is super controversial is because SoftGiving were also signing up streamers for year-long contracts to be sponsored to do charity streams. And so what does that result in? That results in them contacting charities and saying, well, we have an exclusivity contract with a lot of streamers. If you want to raise money, where else are you going to get it from?
Because they've literally said, we'll pay you to stream. We'll pay you to do like a charity stream every 2 months.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, you can't raise money with anyone else. And then one of the co-owners was saying that's absolutely not true. But it was true.
It was true.
It was literally in the content.
And there's been a lot of really weird situations with SoftGiving. A lot of people have not been very happy with SoftGiving. Last year, June of last year, Zizaran, who's like a big Path of Exile streamer, he's like, we know him. He used to come to Twitch London. Good, he's a really nice guy. He said, yeah, you can switch. He said, just learned that people are signing year-long exclusivity clauses with SoftGiving, making them unable to do any other charity to use any other charity platform. Also, many do sponsored charity stuff without saying that it's as an ad, and they're being paid. Seems kind of vile. At least say you're paid minimum. The thing is, though, they're sponsored by SoftGiving. So in the bottom of their stream or on screen or something like that, it says on the rotation, it's got like HyperX, it's got all these other companies.
And it'll say SoftGiving.
SoftGiving, and they're like, well. Technically, it's not an ad, but you still have to put hashtag ad. Like, it's obviously
if you're paid to do something, you have to say hashtag ad.
But they were saying don't do that because SoftGiving it's just a company. They're not non-profit. They're not a charity platform. They're a company trying to like earn money, and so they know that if they don't. If they have to do everything possible to like increase revenue as much as possible, and at the end of the day, they don't care. You're the one who's going to get in trouble with the FTC, not them.
Yeah. So Zizaran said that, and then people were applying saying, "Oh, we don't have exclusivity contracts agreements with sponsored streamers," and then Zizaran was replying with the receipt saying, "But you do, babe."
Yeah. Hi, Katil. Hope all is good and apologies for the message. I work for the UK kids charity and are looking to recruit streamers, but as you can probably appreciate, we've been met with a wall of UK streamers who have signed exclusivity contracts with SoftGiving. I saw your thread and noticed you called them out, but they deleted a lot of the responses. I don't suppose you recall what they said. So this is like someone who's literally trying to like fundraise via Twitch.
Yeah.
But they can't because it all has to go through SoftGiving. And if you want to raise money through SoftGiving, you got to give them half.
Yeah. And the drama as well with that is that, you know, like when we would do fundraising streams, especially for Twitch London, right? We'd do like events and we would raise a bunch of money and Twitch would put us on the front page because we were always raising money with Tiltify. Well, guess what? If you do a SoftGiving charity stream, Twitch will never put you on the front page because SoftGiving is not one of their like approved vendors, i.e. it does.
So like Twitch have been savvy for this for a while. And apparently this is kind of like a known issue in a lot of SoftGiving. So it's a known issue amongst like all the charity people. So they had like Tiltify had a Twitter Spaces yesterday, which is like the voice chat thing, and they've been talking about it for a while. But literally, if you request a front page slot for a charity stream on Twitch, they will email you back and say, if you're using SoftGiving, you can get fucked.
Yeah, they literally are like, you could use Tiltify, you could use the Twitch thing, you could use Just Giving, you could use, and a bunch of others.
Or directly fundraise through the website itself. You can't
use SoftGiving.
We will not put you on the front page of Twitch if you're using SoftGiving. Which is crazy. So you got I Am Brandon, who up until recently was co-owner of the website. And this is a bit of a weird one. I think, I'm not going to lie, I Am Brandon, this entire situation has kind of made me a little bit, like, sus.
Like,
it's
a real mess. Because he was co-owner and then stepped down when this all came out and was like, I don't know... I didn't know any of this was happening. I can't believe it. And I'm like, but you were the co-owner. How do you not know how the company is making money?
So it's a bit...
I'm like...
It's a bit weird. It's kind of hard to believe. I'm not saying necessarily that he's 100% lying, but it's a bit hard to believe that you are the person who works with streamers. You are getting all these streamers paid. And like a 12-month long sponsorship, you're paying streamers like thousands of dollars, right? Like... I think, chat, you would be very surprised by how much these streamers would get paid for charity streams. Like, we're talking, like, probably in the tens of thousands.
I mean, I can tell you that they approached us a few weeks ago to do a stream to raise money for Ukraine, like a specific Ukrainian charity. And they offered us, what, $250 for one stream?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
I'm pretty sure. And Sophie's got the emails so I can check. But, like... Yeah, I mean, they were like, don't worry, we can pay. And admittedly, that's not, like, the best fee ever. But, like, if we were doing, like, a bunch of those, we would definitely be getting...
But we were humming and hawing about that anyway, because it was sort of like...
Well, we didn't really want to do it. We didn't see any specific reason. Yeah, they're literally digital marketers.
So this is, literally. Yeah. So this is on Zach Bussy's video. Hello, thank you for submitting your event for front page promotion. Unfortunately, we are unable to accommodate your front page promotion for your event. We are required to use an approved fundraising platform. Better Place, Donor Drive, Just Giving, Streamlabs Charity Portal, Tiltify, or the charity's direct page. So basically, SoftGiving is not...
seen as an approved charity portal.
Twitch are not okay.
Look, so they posted this all as pictures with no alt text, by the way. Also, a lot of their explanation is just pictures. Like, literally, they're like, donation, the Givinger Foundation, whoever that is, charity, performance fee. Also, why is a performance fee a candle, or is that money going in a pot? I don't know. It's so weird. The whole thing. This is how they've explained themselves. Yeah, so it's super crap. But if you look up here, one of the things that they say is they're trying to explain... Oh, God. Okay, we've seen the shared draft agreement and the concern that's arisen from the community. We have not been able to identify at what stage this discussion was. Babe, it's your own legal document. You know where that came from. You had a lawyer draw that up. However, we can confirm that they're not a current partner of SoftGiving. We understand our high visibility at this moment and would like to use this opportunity for transparency. Okay, get on with it. Full Robert Baratheon. As we always have when our voice is carried. Okay.
What?
We understand this topic is divisive, but we're hired and paid to fundraise as an option. We also invest in others to fundraise for our partners. The majority of what we receive is investment into the streamer and their community. We do that. We're just giving to streamers, guys. They're like charity. We do this to maximize the number of fundraising opportunities and the amount returned to charity. Our optional service caters to the wishes and resources of each individual charity. Each need is vastly different. Of all the charities we have worked with, 6% paid an upfront fee. 2% chose the performance-only fee, which is the 50-50 split. And 92% didn't compensate SoftGiving at all. And I'm like, well, what kind of business model is that? 2% of people pay us loads of money. 92% pay us nothing.
So,
and I'm like...
Emily, so we were speaking about this yesterday, right? And so it's really weird, right? Like, they're a company. They're a for-profit company. They're out to make money. The idea is that basically they earn money by raising money for charity, and they pay... And the sort of... The controversy...
I know, right, Megs?
The controversy comes from not being clear, right? Not being upfront and not telling streamers and all the other scummy stuff they've done. Like, things like... influence or like try to influence their streamers to do things like get piercings if they hit a certain charity fundraising goal, get a cat or a dog if they hit a goal. So like I will get like say like if we hit 10 grand raised for charity, I will get a cat. Like, no, what? Or I'll get my nose pierced.
No, what? That's fine if you came up with that.
Yes.
If you were like, I've been thinking about getting my nose pierced. And you know what? That will be we've done things like that where we go, oh, I'll dye my hair or whatever. But you know what? No one has ever turned around and said to us, yo, Emily, put a nose piercing up on the thing. Get your nose pierced. Like, they were suggesting this to streamers.
And that suggests to me that they are literally like, yo, let's get this one and done. Let's get some money raised. They don't care about you. They don't care about the streamer. They don't care about anything. All they care about is getting maximum amounts of like numbers through so they can take off their 50%, right?
Yeah.
Siobhan, you won.
Yay! Congratulations.
So, me and Emily were talking about this, and it was weird, right? It was like, so 6% of them paid a fee up front. 2% chose to go 50-50.
Nice.
And then 92% of all the charities that are signed up with SoftGiving haven't paid anything.
Well, they don't even say what that we've worked with.
Sure.
And I'm like, what does that mean, babe? Why do most people not get to pay?
And so it's like, it's really weird, right? It's like, how do you decide which charities you work for free and who you don't? And Emily, 200 IQ.
So here's my thoughts. The charities that have paid are the ones that have had money actually raised for them by SoftGiving. I think they've onboarded loads of charities, but 92% of those charities have not made any money through SoftGiving, thus they have not paid anything. That is my thought.
And I think you're 100% right. Essentially, there's a bunch of charities because streamers, the streamers get to choose which charity to raise funds for.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think maybe the Colorado Hamster Sanctuary hasn't had any like fundraising on Twitch
I've raised
yet.
So much money for them. Yeah.
And so it's quite about charities. Yep, that's me. And so it's like they're trying to like be like, oh yeah, like we've done, 92% of charities haven't even paid us anything, and it's like
you haven't made any money for them. That's my thought.
Because you haven't fulfilled the end of your agreement. Like, and I don't know if that's true. We're not saying that's the case.
That's just my opinion.
That seems to ring true in my ears.
I was trying to work out because then I was trying to work out. Well, then what is your business model? Okay, I totally understand. I'm not even against the concept of streamers being paid to do fundraising. All other fundraising you do is paid work, right? I have never been paid to do a charity stream except for the time where Twitch said, hey, would Twitch London like to do a charity stream? We have some budget to host it, right? So we did a whole charity fundraising event. I can't remember which one it was, but it had sponsored by Twitch all over it.
That was so funny. They literally were like, "Yo, we want all of the
community
meetups.
Yeah.
To we've got this budget. We want all of the meetups to basically do charity streams, and we'll give you front page and stuff like that. And we'll just do it. We're just doing this as a thing. And so everyone who wants to do it will get their cut. We were the only ones who said that we wanted to do it. And so we got the entire pie.
That was insane. They said they wanted us to come up with like a little docket, like a little plan of like a business proposal, right? Of how we wanted to raise money, what we were going to do, what kind of event we were going to hold. And we were like, yeah, we're not doing physical events yet, but we could do a digital one. And we put together a little plan for that. And, oh, that's fucked. Fred's opening things out the corner of my eye. They're fucking me up. So yeah, we sent in our plan and they were like, you are the only people to submit a plan. So you have the whole budget, which is fine. We got some good giveaways and stuff like that. But that's the only time we've ever done that. But I'm saying I'm not morally against it. I just want to let you guys know, while I haven't done it and it's never felt right to me, I understand that fundraising, there is a budget for it.
Yeah.
And the amount of emails I get being like, if you don't hate people who have had strokes, then you better raise money for us right now. And if you don't, did you know that there's a 20% chance you could have a stroke in your lifetime? And I'm like, what?
Yeah, we get the emails. We get emailed. I mean, it's actually kind of like teetered off a little bit recently.
Yeah, it has.
But there was a time during COVID. My God,
mate, they had me by the neck.
We get like 5 charities emailing us a day, DMs on Twitter and stuff like that. Yeah, the million Hassan raised was through SoftGiving. However, I believe I can't say, but I think basically they would be absolute morons to take their cut.
I want to say 2 things. 1, I agree with Fred, and 2, I mean, I think that they may take their cut, but I will say that I know that Care Turkey and the Care charity group have raised money through SoftGiving before, and they're not a tiny charity. I think what they do with the 50-50 split, it's for charities that don't have the money up front. So when they go, hey, if somebody makes a bunch of money, you pay us, and then that's it, you're onboarded, you're done, right? Yeah. So I think that because Care isn't a tiny charity, they probably would do that. Whereas for other charities that don't have a lot of money, because most charities are little, they're even like mom and pop. The whole thing is really, in my opinion, sketchy. And, well, I mean, it is sketchy.
Yeah.
Like, it is.
It's sketchy.
And they posted all this stuff. If you guys want to see it, it's all on SoftGiving's Twitter. But the reason I'm not going through it is most of it does not make sense.
It's all written in a way to basically just sort of like...
It's legal soup, you know, where you're just like, what's going on? So then the other angle of it, which I found very strange, is that I Am Brandon, who I did not realize... Beverage. Oh, could I? Oh, wait, I have water. I'm okay. Yeah, so I didn't realize this, but I Am Brandon was the co-owner of SoftGiving, right? So then he was like, I apologize for the delay. I needed SoftGiving to release the official statement before I could respond. I work solely with creators, and I'm proud of the work that the creators accomplished with their community. So Tuesday's news was something I was not aware of. Concern and anger are valid in this situation 100%. I know that. I was too. So he was concerned and angered, I guess.
Yeah.
Their statements should have provided more transparency and more clarity. Smirny. Yo, Smirny, thank you so much for 55 months. This is what I'm saying, Megany. How can you be the co-owner and not know how you make money?
How can you be the one dishing out the partner contracts to streamers, being like, we'll pay you... We'll do a 12-month contract and we'll give you X amount of thousands of dollars. And where's the money coming from, Brandon?
And you don't know your
How's the money being, like...
The concept of your own business model. Like, it's fair to say, maybe...
Also, you don't resign from a company you own.
Yeah, how do you resign from a company you own? Like, how do you... I mean, you're still a co-owner, right?
Yeah.
You can't resign from the position of co-owner. You can say, I'm not working on this anymore and I'm going to get bought out, or I'm looking to sell my interest in the company. Like, admittedly, I've not owned half a company and then had to sell it.
No.
But I will say, I don't understand how this makes sense. How do you resign from that position? But then he was also saying the position of co-owner was offered to him. And I'm like, surely for a cost, because owning a business that you didn't set up does generally, I mean, that comes with a cost, right?
Yeah, I just don't... Okay, like, I'm not trying to say anything about I Am Brandon. I don't know the guy.
I don't know him,
or anything like that. It just seems pretty sketch.
It doesn't make sense.
Especially as he was accusing... so the agency, X1, went under recently or something like that, and they still owed him a bunch of money. And so he was like, yo, the co-owner of that company has removed that he's the co-owner from his Twitter profile.
Sus. And then like,
he's done the same thing
a week later. Anyone TLDR just joined in? Dawu, I will give you the quickest TLDR I can.
SoftGiving are a bunch of bastards.
There is a charity fundraising platform that works on Twitch called SoftGiving. It came out that in certain circumstances, they are taking half of the donations given to charities, and they claim that they don't take a fee at all. We are deep diving what the hell is going on and basically looking at like all of their claims. So this guy is... the co-owner, has somehow resigned from being the co-owner. And he's basically saying, like, the concerns are valid. Their statements should provide more transparency, which they don't, in my opinion. I hope you have a look. But with that, I've decided to part ways from the company as of Wednesday morning. To be fully 100% transparent regarding my co-owner title. Like, that's not a title you can have. Like, that's a thing. You know, like if you're saying you own something, it means you own something.
Also, if you're approaching people, if you're approaching streamers, telling them that you're co-owner, so that you can make these sorts of deals with them, isn't that like a kind of fraud? Like,
I'm very confused as to the whole co-owner aspect of it. It just adds more murkiness.
That's actually pretty normal in esports nowadays. Several content creators are co-owners of esports orgs. It's a completely ceremonial title. I would assume it's the same thing
but
here.
It isn't a ceremonial title. It has a meaning. It means you own it. Like. You can't say you're a co-owner of, like, it doesn't, how?
I mean, maybe you just write the words without it actually being true. Yeah, in my opinion, if you're a co-owner, you're co-responsible, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, like, you can't...
If you're like, I'm lead ambassador, fine. If you could, there are lots of words you can use, but, like, owner means owning something. Yeah, Dean, you're now the ceremonial co-owner of Fremley, which gives you no rights to anything.
I mean, maybe Iron Brandon is... He was caught with... I don't know.
It's just so weird.
It's just weird. It is just weird. I don't necessarily 100% believe him. And there's also some, like... In some of the replies, there are a lot of like, people, like, kind of, like... getting the receipts and saying that, like, oh, the dates you're putting down are actually not correct.
Well, that was the thing, is he's saying he was offered the position of co-owner in October, and then somebody down here said, I appreciate some clarity on the timing, because you had co-owner of SoftGiving according to the Wayback Machine in your Twitter in July, and you called yourself the co-owner in these emails that are going back from May, and you listed it on LinkedIn. You said you've been... co-owner from April.
Keeps on going back and back.
Of 2021. So were you there 2 years, or was it in October last year? Do you know what I mean? And I'm just like, this, like the whole like, ooh, there's no clarity from SoftGiving. I'm like, there's still no clarity. And he was like, oh, I had the month wrong. You're right. It's been a rough few days. I haven't really updated my LinkedIn correctly, to be fair. So,
right.
Okay, you put the wrong time on your, so then, theoretically, let's say he got the year wrong. He was still there for nearly a year, not for like 4 months.
Brandon trying to run before they get bent over by the table by the FTC. I think it's coming.
I mean, yeah.
I think the FTC, especially since there's a lot of evidence that they were like saying, don't put hashtag ad, don't do this, don't declare that you're sponsored by us.
Yeah. And it's frustrating as well, because you've got people saying, yeah, I was in a contract that required... me to only ever charity fundraise. Hey, Macquarie Daiquiri!
Macquarie Daiquiri! Coming in 73 months. Thank you very much.
So I'm like, that's very odd. And like, again, I cannot know what like the truth is.
Yeah. No.
But like, because I don't. But all I can do is look at the evidence being presented and go, none of this makes any sense. Like, it's either the most jumbled up, messy business I've ever seen in my life, or people are lying, or both. Right? And then, like, so then we've got, this is his resignation letter, which he publicly posted, where he said, this is not an email I hoped I'd ever write, but unfortunately I have to. After finding out the information about the news yesterday and having zero knowledge of it, this shows a reflection on me when I knew nothing of it and out of my own control. I no longer feel comfortable being employed or associated with SoftGiving. And I'm like, I'm really confused as to what ownership means if you're employed by someone. Like, don't get me wrong, you can co-own a company and have that company pay you, right?
It's Browser's job to remind about the restrictions, like hashtag ad. Yeah, if he's the one doing the contracts, yes, I agree.
Yeah, and then, so then people are saying, oh, I was specifically told not to put hashtag ad. And he's like, oh, no, that's not true. And I'm like, well, it's coming from some...
So much.
50% is such an unreasonable cost as well.
So much, man. And also, they were doing shit like this. So this is one of the part of the contract with charities. Non-solicitation. Charity partner covenants will not, independent of SoftGiving, separately contact influencers who they work with as part of a charity stream, or introduced via SoftGiving in any capacity for the period of 12 months after the term of agreement. So if someone from the charity that you're raising money for comes into a stream, they've broken the contract.
Yeah.
Isn't that it's just fucking crazy.
Or even isn't that also saying don't contact influencers and ask them to do sponsor streams up to a year after our contract is ended? That's insane.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's having people by the balls by saying, you better not end this contract, because if you end the contract, you cannot contact any influencers.
Dude, it's fucked.
Really weird.
The entire thing's bad. They've obviously... The thing is, though, they could have been upfront about everything. They could have been upfront about all of it. Use #ad. You'd be like, oh, by the way, like they're spending a bit of their like, we're raising money for this thing. They've spent a bit of their marketing budget on us over here at Twitch, and it's really awesome. And then they were also doing stuff like matching. So if so SoftGiving would put some of their own money back into it. So if they raise $500, they'd match it $500. There are ways of being like, yes, they are giving us money, but we are raising more money to get. There are ways of doing it that make sense and that are sort of like can really sit okay with people, but like lying and like pulling the wool over people's eyes and be like, we're not taking any money.
But it's also because streamers want to be perceived as always doing like a really good thing, rather than saying, do you know what, I've been approached by somebody, they want me to raise money, I think it's a great cause, I would like for us to do this together, and you can even put in some of that money yourself if you want to.
Dude, it's just too shit.
But like, there's so much as well, because like, I don't even know what you've got there. But yeah, so other streamers have been saying, what a bunch of word vomit from the least transparent dudes in the gaming charity fundraising space. They always reach out via email to check your interest, and then the next step is always jumping on a call to discuss. Don't like having those conversations in writing, am I right?
Yeah.
And that was also the experience that we had when they reached out to us a few weeks ago and said, would you raise money for Ukraine? And we said, and we were talking about it. One of the things that they said was like, let's have a call. And Sophie was like, why can we not discuss this over email? Like, what is going on? Like,
yeah, we don't like calls.
Sophie's like, we all work in the same living room. Calls are kind of inconvenient. But Sophie's like, I've worked in charity for years. She worked for Save the Children. So like Sophie's like, I get the space. I know the deal. Why?
To give you guys an idea of who you're dealing with, by the way, just so we all know.
Yes.
This is Keith Simmons. He's part of SoftGiving. Excited to announce my appointment to the board of directors of SoftGiving. SoftGiving is a technology platform enabling brands to engage and monetize Gen Z and millennial consumers at scale through high-impact influencer marketing campaigns. So it's literally just like, Hi. SoftGiving is here to earn money from millennials and Generation Z.
Yeah. Ew. They think they want to give money via that. You want to give money directly to charity? Not on my watch. And this is the thing, is like with certain services, like we've always used Tiltify. Twitch approve of using Tiltify. I've spoken to people who work for charities who like Tiltify because they generally find that Tiltify streams raise more money than direct giving. Yeah,
Tiltify's good, man.
And that's because with Tiltify, they have a bunch of stuff baked in that make your charity stream better and more engaging, which means you're going to raise more money, right? If I have hey guys, I'll dye my hair a new color, I'll dye this stripe a new color, and every time you give a donation, you can choose what color this stripe's going to be. You can go, right, my $5 on red.
I just recommend
that is engaging.
I just always recommend using Tiltify, guys. If any of you guys ever do a charity thing, use Tiltify. They're awesome.
They've proven themselves to be consistently like reliable, which I really like. And yeah, like a lot of people have been putting this on blast. They really have, and I'm really disappointed to see more people like taking advantage of the charity space. Like we all know that this happens. But I just think that, like, after being called out for this, the fact that they haven't turned around and said, look, this is our contract for charities that have, like, less than 10 grand coming in a year. This is our contract for, like, this is our agreement. The average onboarding costs us this much. Yep. So we need to make sure that we make that back. Like, there are ways that they could have communicated, even about the 50% thing that wasn't sketchy.
I would be so surprised if SoftGiving survived this.
I don't think they should.
Like, you can't raise money through SoftGiving anymore. Even if we wanted to do the Turkey thing, the Turkey charity fundraising stream through them, where they were going to give us a bit of money for it. Now
that was Ukraine.
That was Ukraine. Yeah. Sorry. Now I'm just sort of like, I can't raise money for you.
No.
Like, I can't sit here and raise $500 knowing 250 is going
potentially
to you.
going. This is the thing, and it's the lying, right? If you're lying about where the fees are coming from or what the costs are, that's so unreasonable.
Yeah.
Like, it's grim as hell. And, like, yeah, I just genuinely think the fact that they've just been, like, lying about it, not being open about what they're doing.
Crazy, man.